Folks, in my 20 years working directly with NFL teams, scouring film, talking to insiders, and watching the league evolve, I've never seen anything like what's unfolding right now. I mean, buckle up, because what I'm about to reveal could shake the foundation of the NFL. And yes, it's happening right this very minute. If you think you've seen everything, think again. The secrets I'm about to drop are so explosive, so unprecedented, you'll have a hard time sleeping tonight. This isn't just another rumor. It's a game-changing, league-shifting event happening behind closed doors that very few have even dared to imagine. But I can tell you with certainty, this is real. A clandestine chess move on a scale that might just reconfigure the entire NFC landscape. You're about to witness an insider's perspective on a story that could rewrite history. But hey, let's make one thing clear. If you're not subscribed and hitting that bell, you're simply not in the loop. This isn't for casual fans. This is for those who understand that in the NFL, the biggest moves happen in silence, behind the scenes, where the true power players operate. If you want to be in the know, then smash that like button, stay tuned, because what I'm about to tell you is only the beginning. Trust me, there's a lot more coming, and what I reveal next will blow your mind. Now let's get into the heart of this story, and I promise, what's about to unfold is nothing short of historic. The Atlanta Falcons, a team stuck in a cycle of mediocrity since their last playoff appearance in 2017, just made what appears to be a seismic move. And it's not just about the coaching change, though that's a massive piece of the puzzle. Newly hired head coach Kevin Stefanski, fresh off his Cleveland Browns tenure, is poised to make waves. But what's truly turning heads behind the scenes? The whispers, the hidden talks, the secret negotiations, they all point toward a blockbuster acquisition, a trade that could reshape their entire defense, and it centers around a name you don't usually expect in this conversation: Key Walker. Yes, that Key Walker, the dynamic, highly athletic linebacker who's been a cornerstone for the Green Bay Packers, but has seemingly become a casualty of cap constraints and internal roster decisions. The same Key Walker who, despite flashes of brilliance, struggled with consistency, especially in coverage, but who still embodies a rare combination of size, speed, and playmaking potential that's almost unmatched for a player of his age and experience. And here's where it gets crazy. I've got insider confirmation that the Falcons see Walker as the missing piece in a defense that needs a true game changer, someone who can command the middle and elevate the entire front seven. But what's more startling? They're working behind the scenes on a deal that would send shockwaves through the league. And while details are still being finalized, what I can tell you is that this isn't just a typical trade scenario. It's an all-in, high-stakes chess match with multiple layers of strategy and long-term vision. Let's dissect what makes Key Walker such a compelling target for Atlanta. His film. Dissected frame by frame, you see raw, explosive talent. At Georgia, he was a dominant force, a versatile linebacker with the size of a defensive end yet the agility of a safety. At 6'4", roughly 245 pounds, and running sub 4.7 in the 40-yard dash, Walker's athletic profile is a rare anomaly. Talent evaluators compare his ceiling to that of elite all-around linebackers like Devin White or Darius Leonard, but the key difference: his youth and raw upside. On the field, Walker displays a level of intensity and physicality that's palpable. His run-stopping ability, elite. According to PFF, his tackling grade last year was 83.1, among the top off-ball linebackers in the league. He's a missile on blitzes, generating 12 pressures last season, tying him for the team lead among linebackers despite missing 2 games. His speed and lateral movement make him a nightmare for interior linemen and guards, and his sideline-to-sideline range is exactly what the Falcons' defensive scheme desperately needs to complement their secondary anchored by A.J. Terrell. But hold on, it's not all sunshine. There's a problem: his coverage, a glaring liability. PFF graded him at just 44.9 in coverage last year, allowing a passer rating of 120.8 when targeted, worst among Packers linebackers. The first year where assisted tackles outpaced solo tackles, which hints at struggles with assignment discipline and gap integrity. His overall grade: a modest 48.5, ranking him 74th among 88 eligible linebackers. It's clear he's a boom or bust player, high ceiling, but with some aspects needing refinement, especially in pass coverage. Now imagine what a coach like Kevin Stefanski could unlock with Walker's raw talent. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, a noted developer of linebackers, has praised Walker's run game impact, emphasizing his potential to grow into a premium coverage player. The analytics. They back that up. If Walker can improve his coverage skills, his upside could be that of a top 10 linebacker in the league. So why now? Why make a move for Walker? And how could this even happen financially? Well, here's the kicker. The Packers, amid cap constraints and a shift toward rebuilding, have been actively shopping him. His fifth-year option was declined last May, signaling a possible reevaluation of his future. Green Bay sees Walker as a tradable asset for a team ready to contend now, and doesn't want to risk losing him for nothing. The Falcons, desperate for a veteran presence in the middle and looking to accelerate their rebuild, see Walker not just as a player but as a symbol of their new direction: youthful, explosive, hungry. Now, talking trade mechanics, the numbers are fascinating. Expect the package to be around a mid-round pick or a conditional future pick, perhaps a second-rounder this year and a mid-rounder next, with maybe a conditional that escalates based on performance or team success. Green Bay would need to shed some salary, and Walker's projected market value hovers around $10.15 million annually. The Falcons, flush with cap space, could easily absorb this deal, especially if it means locking down a game-changing linebacker for the next 5 years. But here's the twist. This is bigger than just the immediate on-field impact. This move signals a strategic shift for Atlanta. They're not just adding a player, they're making a statement, a declaration that they're all in on returning to the playoffs, that they're willing to swing for the fences to get there. Walker, with his youthful exuberance and elite athletic traits, embodies that new identity. It's a bold step, and if it happens, it will send shockwaves across the league. Now, let's look at how Walker fits within the Falcons' scheme. Kevin Stefanski's Cleveland teams have prized versatility and fundamental discipline, but they also maximize the athleticism of their linebackers. Think of how D'Ernest Johnson or Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah were used in Cleveland. Walker's ideal role: as an inside linebacker with the freedom to attack gaps, blitz, and occasionally drop into coverage when refined. His size allows him to match up against tight ends and slot receivers in certain packages, providing flexibility that Atlanta desperately needs. Comparatively, players like Roquan Smith or Fred Warner set the standard in the league for inside linebackers: instinctive, explosive, and smart. Walker's raw tools suggest he could reach that level with proper coaching. His projected ceiling with the Falcons: a top 7 linebacker in the league, capable of elite run defense and disruptive pass rush presence. But don't ignore the risks. If Walker's coverage doesn't develop, if his mental processing lags behind his physical tools, he could become a liability, especially against the pass-heavy offenses in the NFC South and NFC overall. Yet, this risk is precisely why Atlanta is willing to push all in. They see his ceiling as worth the gamble, especially with the coaching staff now firmly aligned around Stefanski's philosophy. If this trade goes through, the immediate impact on the Falcons' defense would be profound. A linebacker of Walker's caliber would elevate their front, give them more flexibility to attack in blitz packages, and most importantly, add a playmaker who can change the course of a game with a single sideline-to-sideline run or a critical stop in the red zone. His leadership potential: just as promising, young, hungry, eager to leave a mark, and now motivated by a fresh start with a new regime. And what about the NFL landscape? This move would send shockwaves through the NFC. With Walker in Atlanta, the Falcons suddenly look more imposing, more athletic, and more dangerous. Other teams would have to recalibrate their offensive game plans, knowing that Walker's presence could drastically alter the defensive dynamics in key matchups. Imagine the possibilities: Falcons front 7 with Pierce, Dorless, and Walker, an athletic beast that can match up with any offense in the league. Rivals, they'll be shaking in their boots just thinking about defending that unit. The media frenzy: oh, it'll be relentless, headlines declaring Atlanta's seismic shift, the NFL's next dominant defense in the making. And don't forget the long-term implications. A Walker trade also signals the Falcons' commitment to youth and athleticism, moving away from aging veterans and towards a fast, aggressive, disruptive style of defense. If they nail this, they could be a force in just a year or two, especially with offensive weapons like Bijan Robinson and Drake London giving them firepower on the other side. Now, let me give you my final take. This trade, if executed, could be one of the most underrated and yet most impactful moves of the offseason. It's high risk, high reward, but that's the NFL. The teams that dare to make bold decisions often come out on top. I believe Atlanta is laying the groundwork for a championship push, and Key Walker is that missing piece they've been hunting. Watch closely over the next few weeks. The NFL offseason is where legends are made, and this could be the move that defines the 2026 season. The league is watching, the fans are holding their breath, and the true insiders. They already know something enormous is unfolding behind the curtains, and trust me, this is just the beginning. The clock is ticking. Stay tuned. The real story is about to begin.